Hey everyone! Welcome back to Nothing But Anime. We're diving into part 6 of our all-new series, What If Toji Fushiguro Became a Hashira series today. If you're enjoying the journey, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more exciting content. Now, let's get into it and see where this adventure takes us next. Sumiko, Tanjiro, was now working inside House Takedo, as maid since she had a big scar at head. The house lady was angry at Yuzui and Kaijuro for selling them a girl with scar at forehead. The house master calmed his wife and made Sumiko, Tanjiro, a maid to work since Kaijuro said that she can do heavy work. Kaijuro words were true and Sumiko, Tanjiro, did all the housework with great determination and was always eager to help. She was a good child that made her lack beauty with her hardworking nature. Currently she was working at laundry when a woman asked for carry something to her. She said, Sumiko, Tanjiro, we're short-handed, so will you help carry this? Sumiko, Tanjiro, smiled and said, sure thing, to Konatsu Oiran room right? I'll take it right way. She started to pick things. The other woman near her said, Sumiko, Tanjiro works hard. Under her face powder there was a scar. So, the owner was furious yesterday, but Sumiko, Tanjiro, cut him and said, yep, I'm glad to work here. And picked up their boxes and started to go upstairs with them. Women were still talking about how strong Sumiko, Tanjiro was. Tanjiro reached the room of Oiranham. Is this the place? There were two little girls talking to each other in low voice. They were saying, I heard Okami at House Kayagaku fell from window and died. So scary. Let's be careful, okay? And many girls have gone Ashinuk and disappeared. Scary? Sumiko, Tanjiro, listened their conversation and asked, what's Ashinuk? First girl said that, you don't know Sumi? Sumi was a nickname they gave to him. Other girl was surprised by the bundle of boxes Sumiko, Tanjiro brought. She said, these are presents for Oiran Koinatsu. The girls explained to her, Ashinuk means running away without paying your debts. If you get caught it's horrible. They still run away with man they like Suma Oiran did recently. This caught Tanjiro's attention and he thought Suma that Tengen-sen wife's name. Then a voice came from behind. It was Oiran Koinatsu and she them to stop gossiping about since no one knew if she got away. She then thanked Sumiko, Tanjiro, for carrying her boxes up to her room. She then gave him candy as a treat for his hard work. Oiran Koinatsu was known as really kind woman who treated kids really well. The other two girls too asked for candy but she refused and said that they just had it. Sumiko, Tanjiro, asked her about Suma. Did Suma Oiran really run away? This caught attention and she asked, why do you ask? Sumiko, Tanjiro thought, with Koinatsu I have to ask questions carefully. She is clever. Well, Suma Oiran is my older sister. Tanjiro was a kid can't lie with a straight face so he said this was making a terrible face expression. Those words shocked them with his weird face expression. Koinatsu gathered herself together and asked, did got sold to entertainment district just like your sister? Tanjiro kept the weird expression while talking and said, why? Yeah, we exchanged letters for a long time. She is not the type to run away. Oh really? Koinatsu said to him looking little concerned. There was little pause before Koinatsu said, I also think Suma would run away either. She was dependable woman. She never seemed to lose her head over men but they found her dairy and it said she was planning to run off. There were no words of her getting caught, so I hope she got away but Tanjiro was thinking about Ashinuk. This provides a good for a demon. When someone disappears they thought she got away, the dairy must be fake. Koinatsu looked worried while facing downwards. Oh Suma-san, please be safe. I will definitely find a way to help you. At front of House Kayagaku, Kaijuro and Yuzui were sitting at a rooftop keeping the check for demons' activities. Yuzui said to Kaijuro, I have a general bad feeling, but I can't sense a demon Kaijuro. It have some kind of skill to make it seems dull and plain. The demon nested here is definitely a upper moon. It will be really flashy to kill it, don't you think? Yes, it will give Demon Slayer Corps another advantage against Musen. We are finally getting to upper moon one after another. If we kill it and Tomioka founds upper moon 2 and kills it, it would greatly weaken Kibutsuchi forces. Kaijuro supported Tengen's statement with his own way of thinking. Killing Upper Moon to weaken Kibutsuchi forces would result in great benefit for DSC since their Hashira have to fight only sea demon that don't stand chance against them like lower moons. Musen have to stop his demon activities too because of his loses. They both have different reasons but end goal was same and if what Tomioka said became true and Nezuko conquered Sun, then it would be better to weaken Kibutsuchi forces first before fighting him. They both were keeping eyes on the house to get even a little information about Upper Moon identity but nothing was coming handy, they were stuck at it. House Ajimoto, Inasuke was listening to the conversation two women were having while hiding behind wall. They were talking about Yuzui's wife. Makio. Is Makio alright? She's holed up in her room and wouldn't come out. She said she didn't feel well, but didn't want to see the doctor. The Okami will drag her out. Still, she have to eat something. I left the tray outside her room. Inasuke understood that they were talking about Yuzui's wife. He thought, Makio, that Yuzui's wife. Now I know where she is. The woman said she was not feeling well. Could that explain the reason of her silence? I should check on her. That woman came from that direction. He started walking towards her room but currently he was extremely annoyed because of this kimono. It was hard for him to wear clothes because of him being raised in mountains. His senses were dulled because of it. Tengen told him to stay quiet because of his voice. They will immediately know that he was a boy. For him, living in building and wearing clothes were some kind of torture. If he can't talk, it's hard to gather information. Inside Makio room, currently inside of room was quite destroyed. Things were displaced and there was Obi and Makio was tied up by it. She was injured and her mouth was covered with Obi. Its one corner had a face on it which was talking to her. Go on, answer me. To whom you were sending this letters? What was your name again? Oh, right, it's Makio, answer me Makio. Obi talked to her. Makio was thinking somehow they found me and LVE lost my contact with other two. I have to get out somehow. And get my information to Tengen. Obi sensed Inosuke coming and said, someone coming. Again, House Ajimoto is filled with busybodies. Obi tightened itself around Makio's body and said, make a sound and I will crush your guts. While being outside of room, Inosuke got a weird feeling which told him that there was danger nearby. Hold on, am I in danger? I am getting a strange feeling that I don't know. Is Makio room right? Why does it gives me weird, creepy sensation? He rushed towards the room and opened the door but it was empty. There were slashes on walls and all things were messed up. There was sudden breeze at the time, when he opened the door of room. A breeze, but the windows closed. Up in rafters, I knew it, a demon. It's daytime so it's hiding up there. He picked up the bowl of soba and throwed it at rafters while saying, Rah, I know you're there. Suddenly whole room started shaking. There was sound of something crawling above him. I won't let you go away. Inosuke ran towards the noise while thinking there it goes. Where's it headed? Is it moving from ceiling through the walls? Maybe I can punch through walls and drag it down. Here. Inosuke throwed a punch but a drunk man came between his punch. This scared the women's near him who shouted, Wah, she punched him. Inosuke lost the track of Demon Obi. Gah, I messed up because of that idiot. It's coming down. That way. No, that way. RHHHHH, it's hard to follow. Damn it. Because of that idiot coming in my way, I lost track of Demon. Inosuke was angry at the drunk man and started to go back to his own room. At House Kayagaku, currently Zenitsu was walking in hallway. He was thinking, I lost my head there for a bit. Improving my shamus and koito skills wouldn't do me any good. I'm supposed to be looking for Yuzui's wife Hinetsuru. But what can I do? I've been listening closely but there is no words about Hinetsuru. Maybe it was the Rashu wife who died 2 days ago. Everybody's sad and isn't talking about it. He was listening to voices of people through his ears. Zenitsu's hearing ability was really high that he could tell what people were thinking about him just by listening to hem of their breathing and heartbeats. He suddenly heard voice of a crying girl. This caught his attention and he put everything aside and went towards that direction. He looked inside the room. A little girl was crying and room was a mess. He said, hey, what a mess. What going on here? Little girl looked towards him while having tears in her eyes. Zenitsu panicked and asked, huh? Was there a fight in here? Did someone hit you? Are you all right? Little girl started crying again. Zenitsu tried to calm her and said, calm down. I didn't mean to scare you. My bad. You are in some kind of trouble. Before he could complete his sentence, there was a presence behind him. Zenitsu's heart skipped a beat. He knew what was behind him. It was Oirin of House Kayagaku Warabaheim and she asked him, what are you doing in my room? I know that sound. Humans don't make that sound. The person behind me is a demon. Until she spoke to me, I didn't notice her at all. How did that happen? Is it upper rank demon behind me? It's a weird sound but so quiet that it's actually scary. Zenitsu was thinking all of this when she said, hey, did you hear me? Are you deaf? Two girls that were hiding behind sliding doors said, oh, Warabaheim Oirin. That girl just arrived 2 days ago. She looked at them and said, so? What does that matters to me? Those two girls froze at their places. Zenitsu gathered courage and said, sorry, I came on my own. The room was messy and girl was crying so. Before he could complete his sentence she said to him, you are ugly and creepy. Maybe you were better off dead. No? What with that hair color? Trying to stand out? Yes. You were right, the room is really messy, and I left the room with order to have it cleaned. She grabbed the ear of little girl and she cried in pain but demon woman said, shut up you. No yelping. Clean the room. The girl said in pain, sorry. Sorry. I'll do it right away. Forgive me. Suddenly a hand grabbed her hand. It was Zenitsu and he looked serious and said, please let her go. She punched him and said, don't be insolent to touch me ever again. This Bart is bold and willful. She requires discipline. Harsh discipline. About 2 days ago she was the one who killed the Okami of House Kayagaku because she came to know of her real identity as demon. It'd been 4 months since the death of Upper Moon 3 and they have been at their ranks same because Master was to a replacement first before changing the ranks. If Daki wants to rise high with her brother then she have to kill a Hashira and receive more of Lord Musen blood. If she can kill Hashira and then they will definitely ranked high. So she decided to lure one by letting known that there was a demon at Entertainment District. She understood that Zenitsu was not normal person because he struck defensive posture before collapsing. He might not be Hashira but he was strong. He was surely a member of Demon Slayer Corps and if fire her disappears, they surely will send a Hashira in Entertainment District. She put good nature make in front of house owner and sent Zenitsu to his room for being treated, and said that she forgave Zenko because she was new here. Master of house was also aware of her now but didn't want to end up like his wife, so he went with her request. Daki was laughing in her room while saying, "Hehe maha, it's taken a while, but they finally took the bait. Keep sending them and I will keep eating them one after another. Ha 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 ha." The owner of House Kayagaku was doing his paperwork when a woman who works at his establishment informed him about Zenko disappeared. Yes, Zenko, the new girl with yellow hair. She passed out and we put her to sleep, but she isn't in her room. Shall I order a search? The owner said in loud voice. That isn't necessary. Dichigon Ashinuk. I don't care. She couldn't take it and ran away. Just let it be. The woman tried to say something for Zenko's sake, but Master throwed the calculus at her and shouted, "Shut up and get out. Never mention Zenko again. Tell everyone else the same. What can you expect from someone who gets on Warabiheim Oiran's nerves? That's why Zenko and Omitsu." He couldn't complete his sentence. Zenko was a girl that was like her wife and didn't ignore the injustice of Warabiheim Oiran against other, but that became reason for both of their end. Omitsu chose Zenko because she was like her. Now only thing he can do is protect others from having same by not getting on Warabiheim Oiran's nerves. Meeting place. Currently Tanjiro and Inosuke were talking at the rooftop of house, which was their meeting place. Inosuke was telling him about the demon that was at his place. "I'm telling you, they're a demon at my place. It's a thing like this and like this." He made a different shape by twisting his arms to show shape of demon, but it was very confusing for Tanjiro to understand. Inosuke kept making them now by his hands liek some kind of incest. Tanjiro told him to wait at Yuzui. Rengoku and Zenitsu came there for their reports, but Inosuke ignored him and kept going. Tanjiro tried to calm him down. Suddenly Tengen's voice came and he said, "Zenitsu isn't coming." Inosuke was impressed by how silent Tengen's presence was. That guy's good. Every time he came at Rengoku's house, he was loud, but now he doesn't make a sound. He didn't even disturb the air. Tanjiro on other hand asked what did Yuzui meant by that. Yuzui explained, "I think I've put you guys in real danger. I wanted to help my wives, but that led me to make some bad choices. Now Zenitsu is missing. I haven't heard from him since last night. You two leave Hanamachi. You are not up to this. They're upper moon, and if someone is missing, we must count them as dead." But suddenly another voice countered him and said, "Don't be so negative, Yuzui." And it was Toji's. Tengen and other two were surprised that when he came here, Toji currently sneaker up on a former ninja, and that was nothing to scoff of. He continued, "I don't think it killed him. He is just captured. There is void upper moon's ranking, and those who are lower to Akaza would like to fill it and take more of Musen's blood. This wants to make him and your wife a bait to bring a Hashira here." Tengen countered, "Still putting their life in danger is not good. There are some potential members who can become Hashira in future. And running now will leave a void in them that once I had. Tengen, I trusted Zenitsu and other two to Rengoku because I knew they can survive and they needed to survive the situation to be strong in future, and you are not alone here. Kaijiro is with you. They can search for your wives and Zenitsu while you and Kaijiro fight Upper Moon." Another voice came, "Yes, he is right, Tengen. Together we can kill Upper Moon and find your wives, and if Upper Moon wanted to kill Zenitsu, he would not have been able to do because it will draw our attention." It was Kaijiro who came this time, but they have already felt his presence. It was hard not to notice Kaijiro's bright aura in this place. "Let them search for your wives and it to find a demon to distract him," Toji offered his advice. Tengen nodded, but then he asked Toji, "What are you doing here? Weren't you on the hunt for Upper Moon too?" Toji explained, "We are still on it. Jiyomiai is currently going to next location and I just came to check on their progress since this was near the location of his next base. It seems that Upper Moon knows that we are after him. He is playing the game of tag with now. Just when we reach its current base, he abandon it and goes next place. I think they have a demon that can either teleportation or different dimension blood demon art. It will be a pain to hunt him, so we are going alone to hunt it to bait him out since he won Hashira would seem hard to finish. Jiyomiai is attacking bait and I am the one who have to strike when this snake will show his head." Toji explained Theat current situation and planned to bait out Upper Moon too. It was ignorant and someone what like Gojo Satoru. So, Toji was going to catch off guard when he will think it's safe and only danger is in front of him. Having strongest Hashira help in this plan is biggest success factor because Upper Moon will surely have hard time fighting him that will keep his full focus on him. Tengen said, "Then I hope that your plan turns out be successful. Good luck with it." Kaijiro and other two wished good luck and Toji left after and said to Tanjiro and Inosuke, "You are still little inexperienced, so try to be more defensive if you two encounter the demon first and try to hold of it. Kaijiro and Yuzui comes to help." They both nodded and Toji left Yoshiwara. "Strike the demon when it's think you're not the danger anymore. Huh. Well, I guess I will try to us it if we are not getting upper hand the fight against demon. Sorry Tomioka for taking your strategy." Tengen was thinking this when he said, "I will gather information about demon identity. Kaijiro will keep an eyes for anything unusual. You two try to find my wives and Zenitsu location, other captured girls might be there too." And with that he left the place. Rengoku looked at other two and said, "Tanjiro, Inosuke, be sure to stay alert all the time. Upper Moon might not reveal itself if you don't want to. Tomioka and I have put our trust in abilities, so make sure that don't die." He patted their head and left for keeping an eye out for something unusual. All that left were Inosuke and Tanjiro there. Tanjiro said to Inosuke that Tengen might want to put us in danger because they were lowest rank, but Inosuke said to him that it not the case since they have been promoted up 6 ranks. Tanjiro was confused, but Inosuke showed him by pressuring his hand and a rank marking showed up. Inosuke ranking was. This showed that Inosuke was currently at rank Tsukino. He explained that they put something won their hands during final selection which showed their rank. After that Tanjiro said to him, sorry but we no time for that. After nightfall I will meet you at House Ajimoto. I still have some investigation to do at House Takedo. Inosuke pinched Tanjiro cheeks and said in anger, I am telling there's a demon at my place. Come on now. You really are stupid. And then he pouted and started hitting Tanjiro at head. Tanjiro was trying to explain and this attracted the attention of woman, at whose house roof they were. Tanjiro said, you don't understand Inosuke. Yuzui and Rengoku-san are watching houses at night, right? Ow, ow. But Zenitsu disappeared and demon at your place stays hidden. Ouch. Hey, stop hitting me. There must be a passage hidden through buildings. Inosuke looked confused and stopped hitting him. He asked, passages? Tanjiro started explaining, yes. Demon is not coming and going. So, this must be work of someone working there. If demon is working at house then it must be good at pretending human and must be careful to kill humans so no one notices. Inosuke understood what Tanjiro was trying to say. Oh yeah. Bloodstain don't come out easily and hiding a murder is hard work. This is a night town. That's very convenient for demons. But there are my inconvenience too. If you try to get things done during the day then people will get suspicious. Our main mission is to find Yuzui's wife and Inosuke. If it's a upper moon then we can't win against it and we should focus on rescuing them first. I want you to do same and I don't want you to die. Inosuke said, everything you just said. I was going to say the same thing. After they both left for their houses. At House Takedo, currently Oiran Koinatsu was getting dressed because tomorrow she was going to leave Yoshiwara and Entertainment District. She said to her little helper girls, I am ready now, you can go and eat something. They both left the room while laughing. She started to look in mirror when Tanjiro entered the room from window. He said, excuse me Koinatsu. I apologize for impropriety but I am leaving House Takedo. Would you please pass the payment to master and others for the meals and while was staying here in their care. He took out pampelt full of money and put on tatami mat. Tanjiro currently was dressed in his core uniform and had Nezuko box on his back, but this appearance didn't surprise her, but was a little confused by sudden change in appearance so. She asked with a calm voice, why are you dressed that way, Sumi? Tanjiro understood her confusion. I am sorry for deception but though dressed like a girl, I am actually a boy. She replied, yes. I knew with that body and voice for yours. IQ. I could tell that you were a boy. I was just wondering what you were doing? Tanjiro was little embarrassed that his secret was not really as secret in first place. She continued, you have some kind of mission, right? Is it true that you are worried about Suma? Tanjiro agreed immediately and said, yes, of course. That's all true. I still hope to save all those who have disappeared. She was relieved, thank you. I admit I'm relieved. You see I am leaving town tomorrow too. Tanjiro expressed his happiness for her. She explained further, there a man willing to take someone like me as his wife. I am truly happy but I am worried about everyone. I am leaving behind. I was afraid that I'd never know the answer to mysteries here in House Takedo. That's only natural, please don't worry. And keep smiling. She said, guess. I will never know what has brought you here, Sumi. Tanjiro smiled and bowed to her and left the room. The door of room opened and Koinatsu thought that it was one of little girls and asked, did forget something? But it was not one of little girls, instead it was Daki, who said, not quite. You are here for only one night, right, Koinatsu? Then before I forget, I must devour you now. Koinatsu was scared from the sudden appearance of Daki, and she was looking different. Tanjiro was currently walking at rooftops while going towards House Ajimoto. Sun was setting when he caught Demon's smell. It was faint but he was sure that it belonged to Demon and it was close to him. He started following the scent and it led him to the room of Koinatsu Oiran. He started to get worried and opened the window. At House Ajimoto, currently Inosuke was waiting for Tanjiro to arrive, so they can start the investigation of Yuzui wives and Zenitsu. He was starting to get angry at him and he was done waiting. He is late. The sun is setting but he hasn't come. That fool Soichiro. I'm done waiting. I'll settle things myself. Inosuke jumped and made a hole in rafters and said, mice, bring me my swords. 2 small mouse that were buffed with muscle and had a headband like Tengen were coming running while carrying Inosuke's swords. The mice are Tengen's servant called ninju and they are highly intelligent creatures and had special training. They were also extremely strong that one can lift a sword by himself. They brought all the accessories of Inosuke and he dressed quickly in this normal clothes, which was boar head and core pants. The woman that came after hearing the noise made by Inosuke was scared from his appearance. She was thinking that he was some kind of monster. He says, I'm going demon slaying. Headlong rush. And started to run in hallways of house to find the path that demon used for traveling. He destroyed wall and floor of the establishment. At House Kayagaku, the owner of establishment was sitting inside his room. In his hands were the clothes of his wife Omitsu. The clothes were stained with blood and his was sad from the death of his wife. Suddenly a kunai knife was touching his neck and Yuzui was standing behind him. He questioned, where is Zenko and Hinetsuru? Answer quickly. I won't ask again. The owner's heart was beating loudly and his body was sweating buckets. He answered quickly. Zenko just disappeared and Hinetsuru fell ill and went to low-end brothel. Tengen said, of course you'll say that, but who do you suspect is the case of your troubles? The owner was quiet and he was scared to even say something, but Tengen reassured. You CNA, trust me, I will not fail to exact revenge and kill the one responsible for it. The memories of his wife flashed in front of him and he said, it's Warabeheim. She and Oiran. She had north room where sunlight never falls. Suddenly there was no kunai on his throat, and when he looked behind himself there was no one. Yuzui went to her room but was empty and understood that she was out hunting. He decided to go where Hinetsuru was and keep an eye for demon on his way. She might have information about what going on if she was alive. He jumped from rooftop to another in great speed going towards low-end brothels. He could go carefree because Kaijiro was keeping an eye for anything unusual and will hold off demon till he comes to fight together with him. At House Ajimoto rooftop, Rengoku was standing at the rooftop of House Ajimoto to keep out for anything suspicious. Inosuke was saying that there was a demon at his house but it ran away. He was there because the demon might try to silence him just like Zenitsu. Suddenly a woman's scream came from inside of establishment. Kaijiro was alert by this and decided to enter the building. Before entering, he also heard many sounds of wall or floor breaking. Inside all the things were getting destroyed and the person who was doing it was no other than Inosuke. He stopped Inosuke and asked him why he was causing trouble here. Inosuke started to explain him about his and Tanjiro plan and how he was late. At House Takedo, Tanjiro was looking at head of Koinatsu which was wrapped inside obi. Her body was missing and Tanjiro could tell that her head was not cut because there was not smell of blood. Daki looked at him and said, another demon slayer child? You returned, eh? Very well. How many of you are there? There's you and that ugly kid with yellow hair. Did a Hashira came too? Will one come soon? You are weak for a Hashira. I have no use for any demon slayer of Hashira. You know that I couldn't eat anything so old and dirty. Tanjiro was thinking about Koinatsu condition currently and said, hey, let her go. This angered Daki and her nerves were popping out and she said, who do you think you were talking to? She used her obi to attack and throw away Tanjiro to another building. Tanjiro was able to defend himself and but was little stunned because of landing on box of his back. He quickly stood back up and started to think about how to fight against her. She attacked me with his obi. It must be her weapon. Hlit has special power. She must use this to store people and travel through walls of establishments. She came outside and said, you still alive? You are tougher than I thought. You have good eyes, they are pretty. I'll just pluck them out and eat them. Nezuko box was not broken, but if it took more hits, it will definitely broke. He put it on side and attacked the upper moon using fourth form of water breathing. Water breathing, fourth form. Striking tides, turbulent. He cut down the part of obi that was holding Koinatsu hostage, and then took a defensive posture. Daki observed that his aerial maneuvers were good and his sword skills let him slice of the end holding Koinatsu. She said to Tanjiro, you are cute but you make me sick. A bit like dying rat. I like you. At Kiramai's, the Kiramai's are the seedest brothels. The courtesans end up here if they stop getting customers or they feel ill. In one of House Tingen's wife Hinetsuru was staying after she left House Kayagaku. Tengen found her there in weakened state and gave her antidote for poison. Currently there was a demon loose outside. Daki was fighting Tanjiro at House Takedo. His wife said to him, Tengen, don't bother with me, please go. I know you heard that sound earlier. There's a demon on loose. Tengen asked her if she was alright and said that Kaijiro was with him. He will halt the demon till he goes back so she don't have to worry. She said sorry for failing him. She found out that the Warabeheim Oiran was the demon, but her suspicion on Hinetsuru grew, and she started watching him. It made difficult for her to send any news to Tengen. So, she faked illness by drinking poison to escape the grasp of demon. When she left, Warabeheim Oiran gave her an obi. As a spy, this meant that Hinetsuru have to keep taking poison because Warabeheim could finish her of easily if she noticed anything amiss. She fought against demonic obi by herself in weakened state and used kunais to stuck it on wall. Tengen said to her, you done everything you could. You did well when antidote take hold. Get out of Yoshiwara. Got it. He hugged her and went for the place where demon was. Tengen was running on rooftops while thinking that he needed to find where fight was taking place and hoped that Kaijiro reached the place before him. He reached a place and heard the sound of demon. There was a large carven underground. He could hear the echoes clearly. The paths leading to it were so narrow that only a small child could go through it. Tengen took out his swords and used first form. Sound breathing. First form, roar. Tengen fights two-handed. His blades contain extraordinary explosive power. No one they've ever hit survived, so he never knows exactly what they do. He made an explosion to make path to the underground cavern. One after another swing of his sword caused explosion for making his way. A little earlier at House Ajimoto, Kaijiro entered the establishment and found a woman shouting about a monster. She said that there was a wild boar monster going crazy and destroying floors and ceilings. After hearing this, Kaijiro understood it was Inosuke, so he went towards nearest noise. Inosuke was standing near a hole in floor and was laughing while saying, ha ha ha. I found it. The hole leading to Demon's Nest. I can feel its presence. Prepare yourself. with this jumped-in hole but only his head was able to go through it. Kaijiro went to him and asked why he was causing trouble for establishment. Inosuke said Mochiro and I were going to investigate the demon here but he didn't came here and I got bored so I am doing it alone. I found the hole that leads to Demon's Nest. Lord Inosuke is now going to there and kill the demon. Kaijiro nodded in understanding. He was worried for Tanjiro since Zenitsu disappeared yesterday. He asked Inosuke that was going to enter Demon's Lair because hole was too small for him. Inosuke laughed and said, "Ha ha ha, it can't stop Lord Inosuke. I can dislocate every joint of my body. That means if my head can fit through it then my whole body can." With that he dislocated the joints in his body and jumped in the hole and his whole body went in whole. Kaijiro was impressed by Inosuke's body but then he suddenly felt the presence of demon. It was like fight have already started so he decided to rush towards that direction. He used first form to get there fast. Flame breathing, first form, unknowing fire. He rushed towards the house Takedo. He hoped that Tanjiro was alright. Near house Takedo, Daki heard the sound of explosion created by Tengen and tried to get information from her obi about the situation there. What was that sound? What are you doing? Do you scum lack any subtlety? Near house Ajimoto is it? How many? There are 5 of you, right? Plus Hinetsuru. Tanjiro refused to give any information about his comrades. Daki said to him in mockery, "Listen little one, you fought me bravely. So, I am willing spare your life if you answer me. Look at your blade, it's chipped. I suppose it was made by inferior swordsmith." This made Tanjiro angry and he shouted back that person who made this blade is amazing swordsmith. She mocked and said that why is it chipped then and why was he starting to shiver again. Tanjiro knew that it was his lack of skills that made his blade chipped. Tanjiro's body was not made for water breathing. He can't use it like Urokodaki and Ju. For him power of single blow was always stronger while using Hinakami Kagura or sun breathing. His body was suited for it. That's why he was training under Rengoku and that's why Tomioka-san said to him to master Hinakami Kagura instead of water breathing. He couldn't use it before because of backlash but now things have changed now he can do it. Now he have to do it, there is no choice he have to do it. He have to burn and burn his heart blaze. With those thoughts Tanjiro unleashed his sun breathing against upcoming obi attack of Daki. Hinakami Kagura. Raging Sun. He unleashed 2 powerful slashes and cut through the obi and rushed towards Daki. She was surprised by sudden change of fighting style. His attacks were much sharper than before. What that sound? Is it his breathing while she was gathering her thoughts together? Tanjiro appeared in front of her and used Hinakami Kagura. Flame Dance. Flame Dance is 2 slash attack and Tanjiro first vertical slash barely made touch with Daki forehead but she dodged it and attacked him with her obi from side but Tanjiro vanced using Hinakami Kagura. Fake Rainbow. And appeared behind her. Fake Rainbow is high speed twist and spin. This move is designed to confuse the enemy and opponent with better vision sees after image more clearly. Tanjiro was seeing the thread that was leading him towards Daki neck. Hinakami Kagura. Fire Wheel. His barely touched Daki neck when she disappeared and kicked him away. She was angry because of her neck was almost cut. She said, "How dare you to put a cut on my neck but still you are just a weak incest." She rushed towards where Tanjiro dropped after taking her kick. Tanjiro braced himself for the impact from fall far on ground. Tanjiro currently was trying to use recovery breathing to pull himself together. He stood up and defended himself from obi attacks of Daki. The attack were faster than before and reason was because she was angry from Tanjiro putting a cut on her neck. Tanjiro was defending himself from obi slashes from all sides. Her obi was as strong as blade and it was cloth which made cutting it hard. Tanjiro movement were slow and opening thread kept breaking. Tanjiro needed to raise the temperature of his body to use Hinakami Kagura more efficiently. This fight went for a little while when Tanjiro started to get exhausted. HFF. I'm holding my own against an upper rank demon. Hinakami Kagura is working. HFF but that not enough I at least need to hold on till Rengoku or Yuzui comes. I have to keep fighting till then to protect people. He rushed towards Daki while she mocked him saying heh, ugly people can try hard but they still be ugly. Underground Cavern. Inosuke went into the hole in House Ajimoto which led him to Underground Cavern which was the base of demon. Currently he was seeing many women trapped in obi cloth, which was covering whole cavern. Inosuke went towards while thinking clothes with human pattern? What is this? No, those people are alive. I can sense it. She traps people in her belly wrap. Then she tails them out when she is ready to eat. Then he saw Zenitsu inside the cloth. It looked like he was sleeping when she captured him. Inosuke called Zenitsu loser. This voice altered the obi. It said, "What are you doing here? What are you doing in my pantry? Unclean. You dirty, stinking pig." Inosuke was thinking that what was this worm thing when obi attacked him but he jumped in air and cut the obi cloth. Inosuke cuts were precise. He avoided cutting humans skillfully while damaged the obi. He mocked the obi saying, "You wriggle and wriggle around. You're just creepy worm thing. You sluggish grub. You got greedy and swallowed too many people. The attacks of fat worm like you wouldn't hit Inosuke-sama. Get it together and try again." Inosuke was freeing people in demon bind one after another while mocking it which made obi more frustrated. Obi could only watch people getting freed from its grasp while trying to attack Inosuke. TSK. His cuts never hit my captives. I thought storing such fresh food would hinder my enemies. And his instincts are sharp. He is alert to all incoming danger. His senses incoming attack from any direction and easily dodge them. I never expected a demon slayer to enter my larder. What should I do? Capture him alive? He's the pretty one who interrupted when we captured Makio. Taking him will be harder than killing him outright, so I'll eat few of them and gain strength, and I will save 10 most beautiful ones. Beyond that I will eat as many I need. Daki was controlling the obi from afar while giving it commands. Inosuke went towards the end of obi where its face was and tried to cut it, but the cloth simply went with blade and was not cut. Why can't I cut it? Is it because it's too wriggly? Inosuke was thinking in mid of his attack. The obi tried to attack him by following through blade, but Inosuke released them to not get caught in obi's trap. Then he kicked blade and they started to spin, and Inosuke caught and unleashed his sixth fong at obi. Beast breathing. Sixth fong. Palisade bite. He was going to unleash a horizontal slashes from both blade, but obi said, "There's no point in slicing me up. This isn't the main body. Besides, what about the people you stole from me? Don't you care about their life?" This distracted Inosuke, and obi continued, "While we fight, I can swallow them back up again." Obi sent its cloth ends towards them people who were unconscious on ground. Inosuke was thinking, oh, I'm supposed to protect these people while I fight. But he was just in his thoughts when some kunais went flying towards the obi and stopped it from advancing. The kunais were thrown by Yuzui's wives Makio and Suma. Makio said, "Worm obi, I like that. It really is creepy, he's totally right." They told Inosuke that they will back him up while he fights obi. Inosuke asked who they were. They introduced themselves as Yuzui's wives and said they will do what they can. Obi head said, "That right. Now who should I eat first?" Inosuke was thinking that if this was not Demon's real body, then this fight was never going to end. Suddenly Zenitsu was standing behind him, and he used first form for thunder breathing to attack obi. Thunder breathing. First form. Thunderclap and flash. Sixfold. He cut Demon Obi quickly from many of places in one attack, but Zenitsu was currently asleep in fight. Inosuke said that it would be better if he fight while sleeping always. Obi was impressed by Zenitsu's speed, but it heard two sound, and Zenitsu's thunder was only one of them and other was from above. Suddenly with loud explosion someone came down by making hole from above ground. After smoke cleared, Yuzui was standing there with his two swords in his hands. Obi understood quickly that it was a Hashira, but Tengen didn't waste a single second and quickly cut the obi and freed the captured people inside it. Tengen started to talk with his wives, and Obi took this opportunity to escape from the hole made by Yuzui and rushed back to Daki. At Daki and Tenjiro's battle, Rengoku reached place where battle between Daki and Tenjiro was taking place. He was impressed that how Tenjiro was able to hold himself against the Upper Moon demon. But then again, she was nowhere near the level of Upper Moon 3 he fought. He waited to see Tenjiro fight because people grow inside the battle and it will be shame to interfere when he was holding himself against Upper Moon. Suddenly some obi cloth came and absorbed into Daki. Her hair turned white and she said while laughing, "I knew it, a Hashira have came. His lord will be pleased." Kaijiro himself just came here, but she didn't sense him just to go. This meant that she got memories from obi clothes. Kaijiro had a bad feeling about this. Her strength increased. Tenjiro currently will not be able to win against her. I have to intervene. And he went towards Tenjiro. A person came shouting towards Tenjiro saying don't fight in front of his shop. Tenjiro lost his focus because of that, and Daki was displeased by that shouting man and unleashed a large attack. Tenjiro went in from man to protect him, but the attack never left 2-inch space from Daki, and her neck felt a burning sensation and it fell down. Not only did Kaijiro used fourth form to block her attack, then used sixth form to cut her head. Flame breathing, fourth form. Blooming flame undulation. Flame breathing, sixth form. Hell's burning wheel. The sixth form is the most painful strike in which users spin in high speed and force that it leaves victims with feeling of their neck starting to burn, and it don't go away till head turns into ash or wound heals, but there always small sensation left. Daki didn't understand what just happened in split second, and now her head was falling on ground. Kaijiro rushed towards Tenjiro to check if he was alright. "Tenjiro, are you alright? Any major injuries?" Tenjiro said, "No, Rengoku-san, you came on perfect time. Jay would not have been able to defend that attack." Rengoku cheered him by saying that he did good and no need to feel bad about it. He was talking with him when he heard voice of Daki. Her head didn't turn into ash. Kaijiro didn't understand why was it still there, since even Akaza had to struggle and his head first turned into ash. His meant that there was more to it. This fight was not over yet. Daki said, "Hey, stop ignoring me, you cut my head. You wouldn't get away with that." Kaijiro said, "You are still not dead yet? You are not as strong like Upper Moon 3, but you are still alive. Is this something Kibutsuji done after Upper Moon was able to grow his head?" Kaijiro word looked like he was saying that she was not strong enough to be Upper Moon. "Are you implying that I am not a upper ranker? Are you calling me weak?" Kaijiro stayed quiet, but she said, "Why are you just staring at me like that? I am Upper Moon 6. I earned this title. I am strong." Kaijiro said, "But you are not strong like Upper Moon 3. Kaijiro was at his guard, but after this blunt answer she started crying. It was very confusing for Kaijiro because no demon have acted like this in from him before. "I am strong. I am upper ranker. Die, you should die. He cut off my head? Save me, Jutaro." Daki said this while crying. Kaijiro felt an ominous feeling. Same that he got from Akaza when he first appeared. Another male demon started to come out her body. Kaijiro said to Tanjiro, Tanjiro, go and make sure that this area get empty. We can't have casualties. This going to big destructive fight, evacuate the civilians. Yuzui would have sensed his presence too, so I will hold him till he comes. So hurry. Tanjiro understood the situation and gathered himself and started to evacuate the civilians. Kaijiro needed to defend people if demon attacks. So for a moment he waited to see what way the demon will attack, but he picked her head and said, crying wouldn't do. You have gone and lost your head, you should pin it to your shoulders. Her head started to reconnect with her neck. Somewhere in Hanamachi, Yuzui was rushing towards the place of battle. Zenitsu and Inosuke were also behind him. Suddenly they felt a strong presence of a demon. Definitely a upper moon. Inosuke said, it's the same feeling from Mugen Train when that marking demon came to fight Rengoku and half match Haori. This confirmed that it was a upper moon. Tengen understood and hoped that Rengoku was there. He then used total concentration, breathing constant, and rushed towards the presence at full speed. At battle site, Kaijiro let Upper Moon take his time, since it was not making any problem towards evacuation. She then said to him that Hashira said that I am not strong to be Upper Moon while crying. Jutaro said, no need to cry, I will take care of him. He looked at Kaijiro then and suddenly unleashed an attack to kill him, but Kaijiro blocked it. Jutaro said, you are good. I wanted to kill you, but you survived. Yeah. Pretty good. Kaijiro jumped back to assess the situation he was in. Now he was fighting two opponents, one was weaker, of other one was definitely strong like Akaza. Then a loud sound came from his back with a familiar voice. You're hogging all fun alone, Kaijiro. That not flashy at all. Tengen. It's good you came, otherwise fighting two ends was going to be problematic. Yuzui came here at his full speed after sense the presence of Upper Moon, and currently he was seeing one girl which quite weak and but stronger, that Lower Moon one, and other one was a man with strange deformed body, but that was not something new with demons, but he was insanely strong, fitting the title of Upper Moon. This was going to be a difficult fight for both of them. Both Yuzui and Rengoku were standing at their guards while Upper Moon was saying something to his sister. Tanjiro and other were helping in evacuating the people inside the Hanamachi. Then Jutaro looked at them and said while scratching his face. His sharp nails were digging in his face and peeling his skin, and blood was coming out. Look at you two. You both have such a nice face. No stain, no scars and marks. He looked at Tengen and said, look at you, such with broad shoulder. Just don't let yourself get flabby, and you are so tall. How big are you? Over 6 feet. He then looked at Rengoku and said, and you with such bright hair and face. I bet you really kind and everybody likes you. Those hair, you are the flame Hashira, aren't you? Your family have Hashira in every generation in Demon Slayer Corps. You killed Upper Moon 3 with water Hashira too, you must be pretty respected for that. I bet woman would fawn over both of you. I admit I am very jealous of you too. Die. Just die already and hope you two die painfully. Maybe flayed alive with your stomach sliced open. Jutaro was saying all this when Daki shouted from behind while crying, Jutaro, not just them. There are others too. I fight as hard as I could. I really tried. All on my own, they came all along and all messed up. They ganged upon me. After hearing this, Jutaro said, yeah, oh no, we can't have that. My adorable little sister tried as hard she could. Left with no head on her shoulders. I'm gonna kill everyone who messed with her. I'm gonna collect what due. We'll pay back for what you did to us. And as you lie dying, don't forget it was Jutaro who sent you two to afterlife. Jutaro launched his sickles as flying attack at both of them, but they defended themselves without much effort. Tengen said, it's not us who will die. It will be you, and the who will send you there will be us in most flashy way possible. Rengoku then said, and you will pay for people you have killed. They both were in pose from defending themselves, which looked flashy in Yuzui's terms if you saw them like that while saying it. Jutaro was scratching his face more and peeling his skin with it while saying, I am jealous. Look at you two saying things like protecting people. I bet people you save smother you with gratitude. They owe you their lives. You save them, you two really are good guys. Tengen put fuel in Jutaro jealousy by saying, of course. I'm flashy, brilliant, sexy guy. I've even got 3 wives. Tengen did it. He angered Jutaro by telling him having more than one wife. His last words made Jutaro dug his nails deep in his forehead and brought them down while cutting his face and eye. He said in anger, you have 3 wives? Okay, that's too much. Even I can't forgive that. Jutaro unleashed his blood demon art at them. Blood demon art. Flying blood sickles. Rengoku used 5th form to block the incoming attack. Flame breathing. 5th form. Flaming tiger. He blocked and cut through all the blood sickles that were coming at them when Jutaro said, nice try, but you can't get away. Blood sickles reform. The blood sickles reform themselves and attack them. Yuzui quickly understood that Jutaro not only throwed them but also can control them, and they turn around till they hit, which is going to be a pain to fight. Jutaro came at him with to kill, Yuzui blocked his attack and Rengoku was cutting his blood sickles. The quick attack made by Jutaro was only able to put a cut on Yuzui's forehead. The jewelry he was wearing broke and Jutaro said, you are good. I attacked and hoped to kill you, but you blocked it. They analyzed the situation. Yuzui was thinking brother is quite flexible and fast and sister is not much special but got her head cut and didn't die. Does cutting his head will kill them? That doesn't matter, we have to try. People near us have already fled means I can fight with them. Yuzui took out his explosive beads and throwed them towards the brother-sister duo. Rengoku understood what Yuzui was going to do. So, he jumped back and put up his guard. Yuzui cut ball in midair with his sword and it created an explosion. After smoke cleared out, Yuzui said, "This isn't going to be easy, right, Kaijuro?" Rengoku said from behind, "Yeah, we don't even know that if they will die from cutting his head. So let's cut them both for failsafe." Yuzui smiled and said, "Yeah, let's do that." Currently in front of them, Daki and Jutaro were covered in ball of Daki's obi, which was slowly unfolding now. Jutaro said to them, "Of course. It wouldn't because now we fight as one." Currently Tanjiro was taking his sister box and putting it on a safe place. Zenitsu and Inosuke were standing little far from Yuzui and Rengoku place because of the explosion that Yuzui created. It didn't give Inosuke chance to enter the battle, which was making him angry. Yuzui and Rengoku knew they were there but were waiting for Tanjiro because that means whole area is properly evacuated. Rengoku whispered to Yuzui, "I think we both should take the brother from duo and let those three hold sister for meantime. Tanjiro was able to hold on himself against her and I think those three together can do it." Yuzui understood Rengoku plan and gave him a smile. Jutaro looked at them and said, "You two are different. You two are different from other Hashiras I have killed. Yellow-haired one killed Akaza, that means he is talented, but you two are skilled. I bet you were special since you were born blessed with talent. I am jealous. I want you two to die as soon as possible." This was not favorite topic of Yuzui and he said, "Talent? Ha! Do I look like I have talent to you? You got pretty rosy outlook on life, you, if that's what you think. Then again, you have been hiding out for hundreds of years, so I guess you got pretty ignorant view of world. This is big country and it's teeming with incredible people. Some are mystery and other have natural way with sword to become Hashira in 2 months. Some are talented enough to fully master a breathing style that they can create new forms and variations of already existing ones. So I'm chosen? Give me break. You have no idea how much I've lost over the years." That's right, I can't be positive like Rengoku always. Rengoku knew that Tengen was talented, but it came from that brutal training of his past, and seeing people like Muchiro, Jue and Jyomiai made him little insecure of himself. Even Rengoku felt little liek that after seeing Ju fight with in training, it was clear that he was holding back, but his own training was hard next to Jyomiai's training. Jutaro looked at him and said, Then how do you explain it? Why haven't you died yet? My blood sickles are poisonous, but no matter how long do I wait, they don't seem to have any effects. What going on?" Yuzui shouted at him, "That because I am from a shinobi family. I've built up resistance for poison." But Daki said, "They died out in Edo period, enough lies." This was not a lie, shinobi still existed but in not like before. Tengen was thinking about his own family. He had 9 siblings but 7 were already dead when he was 15 years old. It was from harsh training their father put them through. He was afraid that clan was doomed. The only survivors were Tengen and his younger brother. His brother was like his father, cold and heartless. For him minions were expendable and his wife was only for making babies, that he had no respect for others. He was stubborn and cold, which Tengen never be. It was Master Ubuyashiki who showed him something worth to risk his life for. Yuzui understanding was that the people who struggled with inner conflict were foolish weaklings. He knew what he should do and he will do it. Yuzui now was little under the effect of poison and it seemed to be working now. Jutaro smiled and said, "Hey you hehehe, the poison seems to finally working. You almost bluffed me into thinking that it was not working. It just take effect slowly on you. I wonder if it will be same for other one too." This was worrying because Rengoku didn't have the resistance like Yuzui for poison, so he needed to be extra careful for when fighting against him. Rengoku asked him, "Yuzui, you alright?" Yuzui said with a big smile on his face, "No, it's not working at all. I'm alright Kaijuro. So shall we dance? I am in my peak condition. I can dance and sing and eat dozens of bowls of tempura right now, let's fight." He started to spin his swords and rush towards Duo and cut OBS of Daki and block Jutaro attacks. He kicked Daki, which launched her into air, and Kaijuro took this opportunity to separate them and started to increase distance between them. Now they both were handing one of each from brother-sister duo. Yuzui throwed his explosive balls in air and the Jutaro sickle cut them while trying to attack him. Jutaro was angry because Yuzui kicked his sister, but this led to him facing Yuzui's explosions. Jutaro understood that the explosive beads were packing power strong enough to damage demons. They were also highly sensitive and his sickles cut them explode. Yuzui swinged his blade towards Jutaro's neck, but he pulled his neck back. Suddenly sword extended. Jutaro saw Yuzui griping the tip of his sword from its one edge to sword. Jutaro was impressed by the amazing grip strength that Yuzui had, and he deflected his sword with sickle when it was about cut his neck. On the other hand, Rengoku already cut Daki head again. She shouted while crying again, "This bright-haired jerk sliced my neck again. This is so unfair, why I am always the get cut." Jutaro said, "Oh, so you have noticed?" This caught their attention and Yuzui said, "Notice what?" while smiling. They both understood the weakness of this upper moon after he said this when Rengoku cut Daki head and Yuzui was about to cut Jutaro's head. This meant that maybe they have to cut their head together to kill them. Jutaro also understood that they knew it now and this was problematic since one of them killed Upper Moon 3. This battle wouldn't be his favor if they knew his weakness. He have to protect his sister and Jutaro was going to do this at any cost. If he can kill one of them with his poison and injury other than this battle will be in his favor. He said, it doesn't matter if you noticed because sooner or later you two are going to die. Bit by bit we are getting closer to winning. Then loud voice came and said, are you sure about that? You haven't taken me into account? Lord Inosuke and his underlings. Jutaro was thinking that more of them were slowly showing up and this was getting crowded, but they were small fries so he could use them to force Hashira's to go defensive for protecting them. In meantime Tanjiro also came at place of battle. Yuzui's wives Suma and Makio was still evacuating people from other areas of Hanamachi, since this was going to be large-scale battle. Hinetsuru was still weak from effect of poison but was coming towards battle area. She was wearing her kunoichi dress. Jutaro said while scratching his head, no matter how many low rankers you bring, it wouldn't change anything, all of your future are bleak. There is no need of getting all worked up. Everybody dies. Tanjiro was thinking about the brother-sister duo. They both are upper rank 6. Maybe they are joined somehow. That guy is definitely the core. He smelled different from her. The impact of his scent make my throat numb. My hand are shaking or am exhausted. Afraid? Either it doesn't matter. Tanjiro was stuck in his thoughts and both of them noticed it. Yuzui said, we're Demon Slayer Corps and we are going to win. Daki shouted, if one Hashira is poisoned and soon other will be too. This caught Tanjiro's attention and yes, Yuzui was looking affected from the poison but Rengoku said, that doesn't matter because you two are going to die before the poison takes effect on us. We have already figured out your weakness. They both have smile on their faces and Yuzui said, listen up, Demonides. We will win and we'll do it easily. I may be poisoned but I am more than equal to you and Kaijiro being here just put us on major advantage. Don't underestimate us humans. These three are very best of our minions. They'll stand true to very end. Cut of their hands and they will fight with their teeth. Rengoku said, you two are just getting in worse and worse position. The victory is ours and this will be another big blow to Kibutsuchi showing that you all are not invincible. Yuzui took from there and said, yes. Besides just like Kaijiro said, we already know your weakness. We'll cut your head simultaneously. I'm right, aren't I? You know, I am. Otherwise you will just absorb your sister and consolidate your power but that leaves you vulnerable. You guys are so simple. Okay, Inosuke said I have got this already. He was happy. Yuzui explained this all because he wanted to share the information with those. They not only cheered them but also gave them information about Upper Moon's weakness. Jutaro smiled and said, many Demon Slayer died trying to accomplish that easy task, including some Hashira. I myself have eaten 15 of you and my sister have 7 more. Daki also laughed and said, yeah, until dawn breaks none of you are safe and Long Night is always on our side. So why don't just give it all up? She tried to launch an attack on Yuzui's back but Rengoku cut down her obi. Rengoku said with a smile, then why did your head got cut twice? Only problem there is your brother. Even these 3 can take care of you. We are simply free to attack brother and you said many Hashiras died but I will say didn't and stronger Upper Moon just died too. Then insult came as fire to Daki but Yuzui put more fuel into it by saying Kaijiro is right and you are already more focused on your sister than us. I bet the Hashira she killed were either new or weakened by you. She is pretty much useless from my perspective. Without she would only be at lower Moon 1 position and she is also holding you. This done it and Daki shouted, who are you two calling weak? I'm strong, you all just ganged up on me. Otherwise I would have killed you already. She tried to launch other attack but Zenitsu used first form of thunder breathing to take her away from them. Thunder breathing. First form. Thunderclap and flash. 6-fold. Inosuke said while going after Zenitsu, let's go Ganpakiro. They leaved that worm woman to us. They will take care of this mantis. After hearing this Tanjiro also left them and went after Inosuke. Jutaro only said, not if my little sister has anything to say about this. Zenitsu took her to the roof of nearby building. Daki was angry at this act but Zenitsu said, before you die, I have task for you, apologize to the girl, who ear you nearly tore off. It may be your money that buys them food, cloth and shelter but that doesn't gives you the right to treat them like this. Daki smiled and said, spare me the boring lecture and what males you think that ugly thing like you can talk to me like an equal. This entertainment district, women are always bought and sold. Their owner can sell them, buy them or break them. Those who don't provide any value don't have any right to be treated like humans. Ugly have no right to eat. Zenitsu said in calm voice, you were mistreated in past but that means you know it's bad to treat others that way. Daki stayed quiet for a while and Tanjiro and Inosuke also came in meantime. Daki then said to him, you're wrong. Suffering of my past were lessons for what to do to others as revenge. If don't cause misery equal to my own then I will never balance the scales. Now there was a third eye on her forehead which was similar to Jutaro's and she said, that how it is when you are a demon and we kill anyone who tries us to tell otherwise. Her presence was pure evil. Tanjiro felt a chill from it in his spine. Jutaro one eye was closed and he said, and in same way we will slit your throat too. Jutaro attacked them with his sickles but Rengoku blocked his attack and Yuzui counter-attacked him. The strategy was mostly same from the fight of Mugen Train but they have find another way to attack him at a moment where his is stuck or distracted. Failure was not an option here since the dawn was too far and because of poison blood they will not last but for now it was block and counter-attack. Meanwhile with Jutaro eye and power Daki was stronger than before. She swarmed the Tanjiro and other two with obi slashes. Tanjiro was thinking that she was now on totally different level, but he can't back down since Rengoku and Yuzui have showed their trust in them. Daki was laughing and said, "Ahahahaha. With Jutaro awake now, I can use my full power. I can see everything, every move you make." Inosuke said back to her, "Just shut up. I can't stand your screeching voice. It would be lie if we say that this was Daki full power because in reality Jutaro was lending her his power." Jutaro said, "Haha, you were lying about their capabilities as Tsuguko. They aren't as good as you said. That won't do. That wouldn't do at all." And Yuzui replied with a large smile, "Then why did you lend her your power? This shows to me that you are enough concerned about her that you have to give her in order of her to win. I write then, the Hashiras were also killed by through help of your power." He was fighting 2 Hashiras and keeping lookout for his sister the eyes he gave her. This showed that what Yuzui said was true. Daki was only weak and Jutaro was being dragged down by lending her his power while fighting, but has also showed the level of skills Jutaro possessed to kill Hashiras like that. He always helped her in fight as an elder brother who protects his sister no matter what happens. Those two noticed this change too and decided to take advantage of it. Now this was going to be Rengoku being counter and blocking while Yuzui was going to be full-on offensive in this fight. Jutaro launched his attack at both of them. His fighting style was like a mantis, and blood sickles that he used were hard to counter in mid-fight, but Kaijiro was doing his best to block and counter all his attack, and Yuzui was trying to be offensive, but Jutaro was also very skilled fighter, was not giving him much of opening. The flying blood sickles were going everywhere and Tanjiro and other were also becoming their target. The Obi was cutting everything on roof and it was starting to collapse. They were doing their best, but it was becoming hard for them to fight. Rengoku was used 4th form to counter the flying blood sickles and Yuzui used 5th form to do an offensive attack. Flame breathing, 4th form. Blooming flame undulation. Sound breathing, 5th form. String performance. Rengoku was defending, but he have to stay away from Yuzui since his fight create explosion with each swing. The explosion comes from the leftover gunpowder from bead and Yuzui striking his swords together at such force that it breaks sound barrier at each swing. Yuzui was pushing back Jutaro with his highly offensive attack and his blood sickles were used because Rengoku was not letting come near Yuzui and cutting through them like butter. Jutaro was thinking he will get nothing by pressing me, unleashing such flashy move. I have to keep taking him towards Daki place and her OBS will make hard FOT that bright-haired one to stop my flying blood sickles. Yuzui while pushing Jutaro and thinking he is taking us towards his sister and her Obi will interfere with Kaijiro making it harder to block his blood sickles. Kaijiro don't have poison resistance like me and it will take effect on him faster, which will be problematic for us. Jutaro kept him taking towards the Daki place. One other hand Inosuke, Tanjiro and Zenitsu were having hard time fighting Daki Obi, which now very fast after Jutaro giving his power to her. Inosuke said, "Yeah, it's not just the Obi, there's blood blades too. I can't get close to the worm woman at all. Those blood blades are especially dangerous. I can feel my skin tingling. Even slight nick is enough to kill me." Both attacks combined were very ferocious and Tanjiro could hardly breathe that he might pass out. He was thinking, breath, use recovery breathing. Suddenly Hinetsuru came and she was standing at building roof with some machine that had kunai as projectiles. She fired then towards Jutaro. Jutaro noticed them and thought, what's? Kunai darts? Swatting all them away while I am fighting a 2 Hashira is pain. They are so annoying and those 3 fledgling demon slayers. No matter, even he if I get hit they wouldn't. No. Why make such pointless attack now? Jutaro understood what those kunai were and defended himself with a blood demon art technique. Blood demon art. Rampant arc rampage. The blood blades covered his body to deflect the incoming kunai darts. But few passed through his guard and hit him. Suddenly Tengen came straight at him. He kunai didn't hit him because while defending he gave Rengoku freedom to defend Tengen. Jutaro understood that woman was shinobu and not warrior and will make a sneak attack, but Yuzui was a person was out of his mind. He came at him with care of himself getting stabbed by those kunais. The other one stopped them from hitting him, but he would have done same if other Hashira was not there to defend him. Jutaro attacked him, but Yuzui bowed down and cut his legs. His legs were not regenerating and suddenly Kaijiro was in front of him to cut his head. The kunais were coated in wisteria flowers and his body was going numb. It was interesting to see how quickly Yuzui and Rengoku turned things around. The poison used by Hinetsuru was strong enough to immobilize a demon of Half-Day, and even Lower Moon would not be able to of an hour, but Upper Moon were different case since no one know that how much time they will stay under its effect. That's the 6th part and also the final part finished. If you want to catch up on the earlier chapters, head to the playlist. Please remember to support the author. I'll be back with more soon. Thanks for being awesome.